They're live, by the way. There they are. Yep. Great. They are going to now. All right. That was an abrupt stop. Usually I fade it out. Guys, welcome to Nash Talk. We're down live in Nashville, Tennessee. It's November the 10th. You know how I feel about the number 10. It's a big X right there. I'm really excited. Now, this is not my usual setup. That's why I'm sitting here. But we're in the green room, one of the green rooms at this awesome place. It's called the Basement East, right? Mm-hmm. And right. It's in the heart of Nashville. And what I love about it is I met a couple of these guys right here about 6 months ago down on Printers Alley, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
You remember? Yeah. And I subsequently got to see Victor play, and mind-blowing. Telling you straight up, mind-blowing. So, you know, I just want to let you know that I've been waiting for like the whole summer. Now it's almost winter to talk to Victor. This is Victor Arruda, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Big round.
Everybody. There you go.
Peace and love.
All right.
Peace and love.
And without any hesitation, I want to introduce his band, Calico Mantra. Let me get that right. Calico Mantra. They have an Instagram, by the way.
Us.
And we're going to start off to my right. Is that your right? It's your right, too. Give me your name and where you're from.
I'm Max Murata, and I'm from Nashville, and I play drums.
He's the drummer. Like they say, he's the beat right there, the heartbeat of the band.
Leonardo Filace. I am the singer of the band.
The singer of the band. There you go. Yeah, you look like a singer. Doesn't he got that look? He's got that look, right? They all have that look.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you?
I'm Jacob Imran. I'm the bass player from Nashville as well.
Bass player from Nashville. So we got some Nashvillians right here. I love it. Now, I'm going to start off with Victor, and you guys can, chime in at any time. We're going to have. There's no script. There's no anything. Like I said, I was contacted him, and he's been busy. You've been recording. You've been doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and what I really love about Nashville is there's two parts. There's the cover band part, and then there's the artist part. The artist part where they get to play their originals. And I love rock and roll. I'm from Detroit, the Motor City. I'm talking about Seeger, Rock, Kid Rock, even Eminem, of course, Motown, all that good stuff. So I've been around. I'm like the old man in the room right now. But I tell you what, I've seen these guys play. And the way he's like Jimmy Page reborn right here. I'm telling you right now.
One of my faves.
Is he really?
Yeah, man, JP Jr.
You are JP Jr. You look just like, I'm serious. You channeled it, don't you? I mean,
What's
really.
Up, JP?
Yeah. He's one of my favorite guitar players. I've, learned a lot of his licks and songs.
Sure.
It's hard not to channel it when you're playing all that stuff all the time.
Absolutely. And, in fact, let me just make sure that my mic level is really good. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more over here. Sorry about that. All right. I just want to make sure we can hear him because I know that this always automatically picks up. But I'm fired up. I really swear to God, and I'm glad to see you again too.
Yeah,
it's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it really has. So, all right. So I know you're from Brazil. He's from Brazil, by the way, originally.
That's right.
And I'm going to start with that really quick. And then you moved to the United States, North Carolina, right? Is that right?
I moved to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire first.
I was there for 10 years.
10 years, New
I was
Hampshire.
like New Hampshire, the cold yet beautiful at times. New Hampshire, that's where my grandma lives there. A lot
from
of my
Michigan, I get you.
Michigan, yeah, up north, man, it's got its thing, but that's where I grew up, my childhood, and it was really cool, and we had great times. But we moved to North Carolina when I was about 13, and went to high school, did the whole thing there, and met these boys.
Wow, you guys have known each other that long, huh?
Yeah, I met Max in high school, so we went to separate schools, but we met at guitar lessons, so we've been jamming.
A long time.
We've been jamming, 13, 14, maybe even more now.
2009?
Wow.
15
years. We were almost there.
That's crazy. You know what? I know what I wanted to ask you. Because I saw, maybe I shouldn't say this, you started off with like a clarinet or something like that?
I did start off with a clarinet. Man, did I tell you this when at the bar or something? That's like one of my deep secrets. That's one of my deep secrets. I did not start with the clarinet, I was strictly a rock and roller. No, I did have the clarinet, but it was for band in elementary school. Yeah, no, you got to pick something. I was like, I might as well pick. He was still learning shit like crazy, trained on clarinet anyway. Yeah, I learned solo.
Did you really? Well, that's where I'm going. What inspired you? Or who inspired you to pick up the 6 string or the 12 string or whatever?
When I got to middle school, a lot of bands were releasing cool albums at the time. It was like 2005, 2006. We had the Chili Peppers. with like Stadium Arcadium, and you had Green Day, which was like huge with American Idiot, and it's all this guitar-driven music. And I was like, damn, this sounds awesome. I want to like start learning this stuff and playing it. And that's kind of when I asked for a guitar. And from there, just started learning about different players like Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, all the Jimmys in the world. All the Jimmys are great guitar players, but
that's true.
Eddie, Randy, all the guys.
Sure.
Jimmy Buffett.
That is funny because I was thinking Jimmy Buffett because I just saw the CMA Awards down here the other day, and they were doing a big thing for Jimmy Buffett. I had no idea that his roots were part country. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's where you got, and then I know that, just staying on you for a moment, you kind of hooked up with Paul Gilbert, I know, from Mr. Big and
Yes,
right?
So we kind of met through the internet because I was, one of his big followers. I love Paul and I wanted to learn a lot of his stuff. So I went to this website called Artistworks, and it's where Paul was doing some teachings. You could connect with him, send videos. You guys could like exchange stuff, get lessons going on. So I connected with him through that. And from there, just, he started liking me and was like sending stuff back and forth. And then I graduated college with my sound degree. So I did like, sound engineering in college and stuff. I'm like, hey, Paul, I need an internship. So I emailed him and he's like, yeah, come on tour with me. And I was like, sweet, this is the best internship ever. So I decided to do that and just hang out on the road with Paul, being his assistant and, carrying his stuff, getting some like stuff out the trailer for load-outs, load-ins, helping out on the tour, managing the merch, all that stuff, which was great. I learned a lot about being on the road and just watching Paul every night. It's like guitar god, get to see that, hang out with him, and he's a really cool guy, super chill, just wants to play his guitar and do his thing. So
did you hone your skills like that? Would you attribute a lot of that from that?
Yeah, just watching him, I saw a lot of his licks. I would ask him questions all the time, and he was always kind enough to answer back and be like, yeah, this is what I'm doing here, But I think a lot of it was just listening and watching for the most part. And when I was younger too, like I'm trying to learn it, I never got to like, super proficient Paul Gilbert playing level, but definitely striving for it helped me get to a certain level in my own playing.
Yeah, I've seen you play, and you're pretty masterful. And I've seen a lot of guitar players. By the way, I got to say this. It was years ago that I met. I think one of your idols, Slash.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
And I got to hang out with him. And the first time he came to when I was hanging out with him, they introduced me. I was expecting him. He had the hat, the glasses, the hair, the whole look. He's never changed. And then he goes, I was expecting him to go, yeah, like this really graspy voice. And he's like, hey, how are you? It's kind of, where you don't have that. You look like you sound, and you sound like you look. That's
perfect.
He looks, doesn't he look like rock and roll? And so, I'm going to just jump back and forth with the guys here so they get some equal time. But because I want to go back to you, of course.
Sure.
So let's start with you drumming. First off, give us your connection with him, and then, of course, your inspirations and things like that.
Yeah, so I remember I heard Cream's White Room.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was like, this is the grooviest shit I've ever heard. It was like a lightning bolt just hit me, and I was like, all right, I'm doing music. And I gravitated towards guitar at first, and I started taking lessons. And then I met Victor at this place. I was taking lessons, like a little music academy in our town.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this dude sounds awesome because we had like a rehearsal thing, like for a recital or whatever.
Sure.
And he was like shredding Crazy Train, and we're like 13. And I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's shredding Crazy Train. So like, I remember I was like, hey, bro, you want to go jam on some Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
And we just jammed on like Foxy Lady, and we became like best friends pretty much right there.
Anybody can jam on Foxy Lady. Yeah. He's my brother now.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
We started just hanging out. Yeah, man, just sharing each other's music and like.
Now, how many years has this been?
Sharing each other's
how long ago was this? How many years ago was this?
This was like 15 years ago.
15 years. So you guys are solid. Because rock and roll either brings a group tighter or the opposite.
Yeah, man. It's like it's beyond rock and roll, jazz, beyond all that. It's just, like a soul.
Yeah, like soul connection.
Yeah, for sure. And then like we would jam all the time, but we could never find a drummer. So I think like eventually, maybe a year or two of us hanging out, I was just like, I'll just play drums. I have a drum set available to me. So just picked up on that, and then we just kept jamming. I just started learning stuff, and here we are.
Yeah.
Years later, still doing
We've
it.
been in a couple bands together too. Like
Yeah.
we were in a band with Bo Lastovich from True Villains. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
Another great band in town. So we started out with Bo doing some traveling. My brother would play bass. His name's Pedro. What up, Pedro?
Yeah. Shout
You're
out
pretty
Bo
close.
too. Bo's a
Shout
great
out
guy.
Bo.
Bo, yeah.
Solid.
America's Got Talent fame.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they were
Good.
just on his band, True Villains. Yeah.
That's
But
excellent.
yeah, we did it. We cut our teeth with Bo doing the thing, you know, touring, sleeping in the band van and Walmart parking
That was
lots.
great.
We did that for probably
Ain't no
like
better
a,
memories than doing
yeah,
that.
probably did that for like a year straight. And then,
Really?
Yeah, and then we were like,
That sounds like Guns N' Roses story.
Oh yeah, that was great.
it was like the
Best
little rock and
adventure.
roll dream. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
you
then
guys
we
are
just
real,
were like-
man.
Oh yeah.
Real deal. What was I going to say? Well, that's pretty cool. I'm trying to. It eludes me, and I'm embarrassed because I know the drummer for.
Ginger Baker.
There you go, Ginger Baker. Thank you, my man. There you go.
Got it.
He
Yeah.
saved me. Look at that.
I didn't even know he was ginger, so I guess it's just something in the
In the
something in the
name.
water.
Yeah.
Something in the
Great
water.
Well, I was a beard comic. Anyway. Now your turn over here.
Yeah. I met these two in college,
Yep.
and I didn't get any work done when I met these.
There you go.
But we had fun. We were in different groups. I was in this like reggae band out in
Mm-hmm.
and I just spent time at their house just jamming. I pretty much lived at their house.
Yeah.
He had to kick me out of their house.
Yeah, I mean it was cool, but I was like, dude, why are you been here for like 3
Yeah.
weeks straight?
We were
man?
just
Get
going.
out of
We were
here.
going, man.
Wow.
No, but he
That was
clicked
hilarious.
instantly.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. My inspos, I guess, obviously Robert Plant
Oh, there you go.
is cool. John Lennon,
Uh-huh.
main writing influence probably.
Same here. Go ahead. Keep
David
going. I love
Bowie,
it.
too. David Bowie, T-Rex
Oh yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Those are like the big hitters for me.
Good for you. So, and look at. I mean, you guys. I'll get to the groupies later if they want to talk about. I don't know your current status, so I'm going to try to keep. Okay, your turn. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well I actually met Max and Victor first. It's like
Oh,
10-ish
thanks,
years
bro.
ago.
No,
I'm
I'm kidding.
that.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, so before,
Well, it was
before we
like
hooked up
we
with
lived
Bo.
in I was in North Carolina, and we went to the same like community college. I met him in jazz ensemble class, and it was kind of funny because I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to play guitar," and then they were like, "Oh, we already have 4 guitar players." I was like, "Oh, I'll play piano." So and he was a piano player first, and then that was fun. We just used to dick off and have choir and all that shit.
Amazing.
So,
Jam out.
Yeah, that's
hang
like
out.
10 years now. Too.
yeah, it was like 10-ish
Yeah,
years.
10 years.
player.
And
That's crazy.
and then then they went off to App State because I'm younger, so like I still had a year left. They went to App State. I met you over there, and that's where the triangle started.
Yeah, and we lived together too.
Yeah,
for
we
like
did
a
live
year.
together. Yeah.
In a van?
After
Walmart?
This is
No.
after the
21,
Walmart.
12.
So right after Bo and we toured, we like were getting our shit right again, and
Uh-huh.
like I moved in with Jacob, and we just jammed for like a
Dude,
year
yeah, it was
straight. And I
fucking
mean, Victor
awesome.
was there too, but we were definitely
Right,
jamming
dude,
heavy
yeah.
together for a while.
The 21-12.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
2017 era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So basically, this is your hub, Nashville, right? So you guys are
now.
deep rooted now.
We've been here for 3 years
Yeah.
now altogether.
So do you have plans? I mean, do you feel comfortable enough? Like, it's not that you can't move somewhere else in the future, but it seems like even people from LA and New York.
It's a vibe.
This is the
Honestly,
spot
it's
right
just
now.
vibing.
This is our
Yeah.
spot.
As long as it continues to vibe, like we'll continue.
I think we got some good connections out here too. Like the bands we connected with, the people, the groups out here. They're all very well supporting.
Literally,
all
the guy we're
music.
opening for like moved here from LA.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
He-
all these great
he was
musicians.
in LA for
live here.
years.
Really.
Yeah.
So have you I'm sure you guys have gone back and forth from opening to headlining. Like tonight, you guys are opening, right?
Yep.
And
We're
for
We're like second out of 4.
tell them the band you're opening for today.
Baby Jake.
Baby Jake and the Mojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Paul
Baby Jake.
McDonald too. He's a great musician here from Nashville.
He's a great local act.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
And
See,
Mills too. Opening.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
Mills is
amazing.
also
Yeah.
from LA.
So I know that you probably, because I know that you have, and I'm sure you all have, traveled outside of the Tennessee area. I saw that you guys have just been all over. So like Florida to Detroit, all over the place. I mean,
Yeah.
so where is there any particular places that you're fond of, or outside of Nashville?
Technically, our group has not toured like that. That would be like the hippies and cowboys. Of him.
Yeah.
But as people,
traveling
we've
wise,
all
like,
traveled
yeah,
as people,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
been to Mexico together, but I love.
What would you like to play? Let me track your
it's
question.
like
For playing.
If you were to sit there right now,
Oh,
somebody
man.
a day, maybe a label A&R, or just somebody in particular said, "Hey, where would you like to play?"
Red
Budokan.
Rocks.
Budokan.
Red Rocks.
In Colorado,
Yeah,
right?
Red Rocks
Honestly,
for sure.
Yeah, that's a
Europe,
pretty-
Europe's great. I love
Well,
like doing a
Alberta.
tour out there.
Okay.
You know, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I mean Europe.
Europe,
Yeah.
yeah, anywhere out there.
Japan.
Yeah,
Parthenon.
Budokan.
Oh
I
yeah.
want
Japan
now.
sounds
I hear India's blowing up too. That's what I heard.
That would be
Yeah.
crazy. Dude.
You know,
Just an
yeah.
old Beatles
Let's open
trip.
for Shakti in India.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Wow.
we saw Shakti with John McLaughlin. That was
Here.
crazy.
That was
Really?
Epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Epic. Where were they playing at?
The Ryman.
Oh wow. So yeah.
I think, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, right.
So the basement, East is a pretty well-known place. What other places have you played and/or do you prefer or like outside of just here?
Do North Carolina from time to time. So we played like the colleges over there, the local venues.
Honestly, the best
Yeah.
venues are the frat parties.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Oh,
house
exactly.
house shows, like any like party that's at like a house is like
Yeah.
usually the
We-
funnest.
Yeah, we're definitely like a house show
And,
band.
a lot of the venues I feel like we played there like gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Really?
We haven't
Yeah.
really gone to the level of like going out of state to play any out of state shows. We gone to like Knoxville, travel like about 3 hours so far,
Sure.
but we're kind of trying to get on that
Yeah.
time where we can do some traveling like that, play out of state
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, we're trying to get on some good opening bills.
Yeah.
That's probably the move.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
this formation's only like a year old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Like,
true.
Anyway, like, it's kind
Still relative.
Do you guys have anything like online? Because I want to share later. I'm going to connect the
Yeah.
links where people can see it. Because if there are people I do know out there that can maybe make some calls if they see these guys. I'm telling you, I mean,
Look us
if,
up.
if they're as good as he is, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, we're on Spotify, Instagram, like all those platforms. So you can listen. We got like 6 songs out too. So.
Right.
I believe that. So that's where I'm going to next. What projects have you had? Talk about like the projects that you've recently done or are working on. I'm not really exactly sure, but go ahead. This is your moment. So
Hey, start from the beginning.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess me and him kind of started writing together,
uh-huh.
and it was kind of like trying to write some Beatles psychedelic stuff. So we wrote this song called Mad Men, which is on Spotify. It's one of like our favorite
The
songs.
Mad Men, yeah.
The Mad Men.
Madman, look that up. Spotify.
Yeah, very Beatles inspired, just on my computer. Literally.
This is while we had like another project. All 3 of us were doing like this was like a side thing. This band originally,
Yeah.
we were doing a thing called Fresh Squeeze, which was like a progressive power trio kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were this group called the Honeymoons, which was a 4-piece, but more like just straight up rock, I guess. And now it's more like trippy, like psychedelic late 60s vibes.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's the vibe you guys are creating. How is it being received?
I think it's
Pretty
being
well.
great. I think it's like being received like
Huge
really
market
nice.
for it.
Excellent. That's what I want to hear. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. So I guess, moving forward, do you guys have like a particular ambition that you haven't reached yet? It's particular, like a certain goal or goals.
Yeah.
Go ahead, speak on that.
Like
Oh,
just
Yeah, I feel like it's just
Huge
never.
show.
I feel like we're never gonna like feel like it's
Yeah.
been achieved, no matter how.
like to be
Yeah,
able to
sure,
write
too.
and tour and just focus on like this
Mhm.
would be ideal. Like that would be the life, right? Like being able to just make our art and like live how we want to live. Nothing like crazy, but like be able to just live your life
Yeah.
and not to work or do anything.
Yeah.
Do this every day.
would be
If
amazing.
we could possibly get off, like if the circuit downtown, like if we could just live as we are now, but only off the original stuff. That's like
That would be
so-
crazy.
Yeah. Travel overseas too. That would be like a great goal.
yeah, around
Right.
the world.
Around the world. That's the goal. Honestly, that's a big one right there.
Yeah.
All around the world,
Yeah.
baby.
World class, baby.
That's-
Love traveling.
That's a message right there,
Yeah.
because my one of my side goals when I came here, because being a DJ and a songwriter, working with all that radio a lot and things like that, I came down here and I said nothing against working on Broadway.
Yeah.
That's great.
And you're playing music because I'm a few years older than them, and I'm hearing like, oh wow, I'm like I got a class reunion. You know what I mean? But I wish that they would allow you guys at these venues to go, okay, every like 15 minutes, or so, whatever. Hey, this is one of ours. Go check out our album.
It's like
I mean,
we
you
potentially
you
could
can
do
do
it,
that,
but
man.
like it's just like
People just like leave, and then it's kind of like, oh shit, I don't know if they're like digging it, or people just start walking away, so unless you can get them to stay.
Honestly,
The key
when
is
we've
not
done
to
it in
tell them.
nudies, it's been pretty good lately.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
originals.
Yeah,
Just don't tell them it's an original.
right.
They'll be
Each
fine.
way.
And then you just say it
As
after.
long as the
they're like,
bar
oh, shit.
people don't know, then it
Yeah.
just seems like another song, then it's fine. But we sneak them in
Well, I'm
every
teaching-
once in a while.
I'm going to teach you a little trick I did as a DJ. You guys can do in bands because I've worked with a lot of bands. I used to tell them when they would try to do this cover thing, I says, kind of beat mix it into the song. Like you're doing like a particular groove and then just go into your own original and you can kind of weave in and out of it.
Yeah.
You,
Medleys are where
you know
it's
what I
at.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
And so by the time people are going,
I like
Keep
that.
that beat going.
what was that thing you guys were doing? Because, chord progressions and tempos and things like that.
Easily be stitched.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I used to call it kickstand mixing. I go, okay, I'm losing them and I could just easily glide back into something else.
Yeah, that's fire.
You know what I mean? So try to do that instead of just that stop and start thing.
Yeah.
Because I really love the invention of music and the idea of music, even if it's parlayed from something from 50 years ago, 10 years ago, like the different artists you guys were mentioning.
Yeah.
I mean, I know all of them and I'm sitting there going, yeah, because that's how I think you guys can seize your moment. You don't lack. Here's the thing they don't lack that I've seen of you, and I automatically know that if you guys are with him, they say, you're, if he's a friend of yours, that kind of thing, the apple doesn't fall far from the trees. Well, you know what? The chemistry that you have is key. That's paramount.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have that energy, that synergy to work together, and the way I feel in this room with these guys, I've only known some of them for a few minutes, and I can just tell the way they have such reverence for each other. So I'm excited to ask a couple more questions if it's okay with you. Let me check the clock so we know, because there we are. How are
I
we?
think 10 more minutes.
10 more
7
minutes.
o'clock.
All right, this is great. We're getting a lot done here, man. I love this.
Yeah.
So if there was anything that you've never been asked by anybody, or in the future, if they don't happen to ask, what would be? I'll start this way.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Or do you want? No, I'm putting you on the spot. I'm going to put him on the spot. What would you want to be asked? And then I'm going to ask another question at the end. Like, what do you want to be, now I'll even give you guys a little head start thinking about it. What do you want to be known for or remembered for? But right now, I'm going to ask you, what would you love to have people know about you and what you're doing?
You're a little fucking troll laugh.
That's great. That's great.
Oh, red there, boy.
Well, you know what? Hey,
he looks normal on the screen.
His reaction that's priceless, man. That's money right there. All right, Victor, your turn, bro.
So, question that I would like to be asked.
Yeah, like
what it is?
yeah,
I was hungry.
a question that you don't think they would ever ask you on radio or TV or Rolling Stone.
Oh no, that's deep right there.
There you
I
go,
gotta
man.
Deep in my mind.
Dude, deep in my
Like,
Remember Almost Famous? You got to see a movie called Almost Famous.
Oh, I
Oh,
love that
dude,
movie.
trust me. You know how many people have made me watch that movie?
I love that movie.
So you get where I'm going,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think it was Cameron Crowe. That's
Cameron Crowe.
right. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a Cameron Crowe question. So what is it that that you would really love to, where you're just unfiltered, raw and unfiltered moment right now?
Right. Unfiltered. Shit.
You got it.
I'll let you guys think about
A
it.
lot of pressure.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, let me go to another one while you guys can incubate, because your mind can do two different things. I know. Like I always wonder, how can they play and sing at the same time?
Oh, dude, I ask myself that every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's talented. I played keyboard, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to
That's
do
how I
that.
feel about keys, though. I'm like, man, how are you going to
How do you even
10
just do it
limbs?
without singing?
Right.
I don't know how they just don't. I don't know how you don't look at your strings and you're just going all up and down, and the drums the same thing. It's great, man, what you guys do. But anyway, so what do you think about your fans, your audience? Do you have fans that follow you, fans locally,
Yeah.
a particular base?
Yeah.
They don't know, so I'm talking to them.
Yeah, it's kind of everywhere, like
Great
local,
fans.
but then random.
We got
locations.
random Brazilian fans. We got like these 3 French fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen it. Like this dude, this like 14-year-old guitar player from France, like always comments on all our stuff.
People from
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah, the internet really just like Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff
Whole new
really
world.
connects us to the world. So we got some fans from all over the place. You know, I'm Brazilian, he's Brazilian, so
I'm Brazilian.
we're all Brazilian. We got a lot of Brazilian fans too, which is great. 'Cause
That is
that'd be
great. That's your
amazing to go
hometown,
play.
brother. I love
It's
that.
hometown. You know, hopefully one day we can go out there and
That'd be
show them some
sick.
rock and roll.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, Rio de Janeiro, man. And
they got the rock and roll
Rio,
going on
baby,
over
let's
there
go.
still. You know.
yeah, there's I honestly wish I went there, but I was in the supermodel phase back then. You know, Giselle and all that. So you know, but you guys incubate a whole bunch. What's her name? Alessandro. Oop, that's me. I don't know how that came up. It's telling me my phone is over here. What was I going to say to you? So Brazil. So there you go. That's kind of a quest goal right there.
Yeah, travel to Brazil, play, you know, show the world some rock and roll guitar, and that's really the main goal of, you know, this whole thing. Musical journey is really to play for everyone all over the world and really keep rock and roll alive. You know, the spirit of rock and roll. The sounds are always changing. There's a spirit and an attitude that comes with this kind of music, you know, and it has its place in the whole musical spectrum of all the different genres, and really just going for it and keeping that spirit alive, I feel like is, you know, very important to me and to this group too.
Yeah, of
you
course.
know.
Yeah.
I want rock and roll to die.
Wow.
That's
That's great. So you guys see yourselves together for quite a while. You've been together for all these years, right? So there's no end in sight with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as long as you guys stay healthy and happy,
Honestly,
you're
no
good,
matter
right?
what happens, there's no.
Yeah, it's like
we'll always be
yeah,
making
Yeah,
music.
to create
honestly.
music, really, it's like, why should there be any like limitations or boundaries to that? You know, it's like we're
It's like the
just
more
humans.
boundaries, the
Especially
less
now.
creative it can even become.
Yeah, it's like we're friends, we're humans. Like, why can't we create music together? It's like, oh no, they're doing it again. They're making a song. You know,
Yeah,
I know they
we've all
changed their
been
band
means.
name for the 5th
With
time.
technology, it's like we'll always be making music.
yeah,
But
it's
hopefully
easier now too.
we can get successful with it and like, you know,
Yeah.
make something
Yeah.
out of it. Because
Even
like,
if not, we'll continue.
Well, I hope
Yeah.
I can, you know, I hope I can bring some attention to you guys, because I really am a fan, and he's been really, you know, the one thing he's in front of a whole large audience, and you were super cool to me when I first met you, and I can just tell, you know, it's amazing. You there's certain people you wish success on, and you hope the best for it, and I can see that these guys have that, because you know I don't sense a burnout factor. That's usually a big thing when I talk to certain people. Like, man, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I don't. And maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but I haven't felt it yet. Nobody said anything about it. So you know, it's like, well, we hope to take a break. All right.
Yeah, I
You know?
don't think we've done anything like physically like abrasive.
the
with
only
our
thing that's
group
exhausting is just playing on Broadway.
yet. The
like,
4-hour
that can
straight
be
thing
burnout.
is like
That can be
Yeah,
burnout.
that I don't.
You can get burned
That's
out
our
with that.
like Jaws, really. Me and Leo here and Jacob. Maxie plays with us once a week.
Yeah.
But we're playing like
dude, we did like
Four
a
or
five
five
night
times.
bender. Like man, that shit.
playing
I
all
got
those
literally
nights till
sick
2,
from that.
3 a.m. in the
It's
morning.
exhausting.
It's like it takes a little piece of you, you know. But
Take a piece of
it's
good,
part.
though.
It's great because we meet a lot of people out there.
Absolutely.
And
So those are the pros and
I
cons.
mean, we literally
Yeah.
met you after a gig, so it's
Right.
like we would not have known you.
Broadway's a little hidden gem, you know. People can see it as like, oh, it's Broadway. Oh, they're playing covers, whatever. But it's like, oh yeah, we get to play music for 4 hours and make money. So it's like we're gonna get better. We're gonna learn more songs.
I love that.
And it'll all just, you know, pool into our own
And it's way
abilities.
better than actually working.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
better than working
It
a
makes
job.
it makes it worth it when you're playing with people that you enjoy and you enjoy the music.
It's like being out with friends, right?
Yeah, if you're on
Exactly.
those sub gigs with the random people, it's like it takes forever to get through those.
That
shows.
can be a little whatever, but we're lucky that we, for the most part, get to play with our friends and
Yeah.
each other.
That's you know what you see why I like these guys. Man, it's crazy. This is what this is all about, man. I want to take you to you know, I mean, eventually they can share this with anybody today, tomorrow, whenever you know.
Sure.
And that's why I don't want you not to have a moment of saying, oh, I wish I would have said. And if you do, I'll come back. I don't care about that. But I want you to feel like, you know, this is what when your audience sees the behind the scenes of how you started and what your passion is and how you guys work together. I mean, people love the story of a good band together. You know, I remember going to see Van Halen, and I go, okay, no, who's the lead singer tonight, Sammy or Dave? You know what I mean? And then I would see, Michael Anthony's gone, and then there's Wolfgang, and everyone loves Van Halen, right? But it was like that was the only part that people would grumble about. I hate to say it, but it was like that. I was like, God, why couldn't they? You always look at them like, why can't they get along? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you root for the band when you hear like Axl didn't get along with this, and then now they're all back together because they probably realized millions of dollars not made later,
it's
right?
Money and all like it was so easy to make a shit ton of money when you're already famous. Also, you're doing a shit ton of drugs and drinking. Like that's not going to make your relationship better with anybody. That's just going to make you like numb to shit. So like they probably never even talked about shit. They probably just like were on their bus doing fuck all, and then like they would play. And then like when it's time to record in the studio where they have to spend like hours with each other, they didn't know how to handle it probably.
Right. That is I've heard that. I've heard that a lot.
It's like the explanation I've ever heard.
It's what'd you say?
Yeah, that was pretty. That was great.
2023. It's like
I think it's a great explanation.
Yeah,
I'm going to edit that because that's such a great.
I literally just pulled that out of my ass too.
I'm going to edit that out of the interview.
No. I want to because
it's true. Like I'm trying to speak on truth.
Stay with that. Because I was going to ask you, like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have.
We probably should.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to wind it up. So, anyway, they got to go because they got to go play. We're in agreement.
We got to get dinner and then come back.
Okay, they got to go eat. I don't blame you. Okay, so we'll wind it down. Thank you for that. So you guys look pretty healthy and happy. You don't look like you're too caught up in too much except the rock and roll, the music.
Yeah, we had a day of rest.
Don't you have a day of rest?
A couple hours here.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Man, Victor, I'm telling you, man. I love you, man. I'm a fan. I'm gonna come and see you guys anytime. I'm just. One time I walked past. The place is packed, and he's up on stage, and he looks right at me. You remember it? I mean, he just looked right. Like he looked right through me. Yeah, because some people just look. Yeah, right.
It's a proper
spirit of guitar, man.
Yeah, no. You've got it down. I can't wait to.
Brother.
I might even come back and see you guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but I really want to see them because they're just a great band. I got some contact information up there. Is there anything else you guys want to say? And I'll type it in later if you have to.
We got some upcoming shows, right? We got an EP release December 7th at the 5 spot up the street. So any locals that want to come out to the show, please come check it out. And
the release of our new EP.
And the music video will be coming out that day, I think, as well.
All right. And I'm adding more and more people from the industry that are actually going to watch this. So if you guys ever want to come on and just even do a from your phone, hey, we're going to be live at this, or hey, come check us out, I'll put it on there. Cool. So always know that I'm rooting for you, right? Because I want you to. I want to go beyond the scope of what's going on right now, and hopefully that helps you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I see you.
Look at you, man.
Cheers, man.
That was great too. You guys all did a great job, by the way, man. Round of applause for these guys right here, man. There you go. See them tonight, and we're downtown Nashville. This is what it's all about: rock and roll, living the dream, and going for it.
Yeah.
All right.
All
All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to shut it down. So thank you for joining us. This is kind of what it's all about, man. Look at there you go. All right, look at that,
Peace
man.
and love, everybody.
There you go. All right, man. Thank you guys so much.
We'll see you later, man.
Thank you for joining us Friday Night Live on November 10th, right here, 2023 Nash Talk. We're at the Basement East. And tell them the name of the band again. Calico what?
Calico Mantra.
Calico Mantra. Check them out. They're on Instagram. Right there.
All right.
Instagram, right on the bottom. All right, guys.
Peace and love.
All right,
Yes.
man.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, bro.
Let's get
That was a great time, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Great time.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.